Hello, everybody. We are back with another visual pattern challenge for you today. Here's our visual pattern. Here's step 1, step 2, step 3. And your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to look at this and see if you can figure out how many of these squares are going to be in step 4 of this pattern. And if you can do that, then at a higher level of challenge, try to figure out how many in step 43. And along the way, can you make an equation that you could use to predict the number of squares in any step at all? So that's the challenge. If you'd like to try it out, pause the video. Okay, well, let's start by just getting a sense visually of what this pattern is doing. Right away, I see this 3 by 3 square, and I wonder if we're going to have an x squared in here. But as the pattern goes on to step 2 and step 3, the square actually stays the same, right? We've got that 3 by 3 square in the middle, and we've got these little bits growing on the outside. So it's not the whole square that's growing, it's just these bits. And it looks like in step 2, we added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. And then let's see if we can see that pattern in step 3. Yeah, there it is. And we added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. So it looks like we are increasing by 8 in every step of this pattern. So maybe it's not going to be an x squared. Maybe it's a simple linear pattern. If I were going to predict how many in step 4, I guess I would just add another square here and another square here and another square here and here and here and here and here and here, and that would be 8 more. So how many have we got here? Here's 9. Well, we started with 9, then 8 more would be 17, and then 8 more on top of that would be 25, and then 8 more on top of that would be 33. So I think there are 33 in step 4. Let's make a little chart and double check our numbers, make sure we're not making any mistakes. So I'm going to list the step, and I'm going to list the number of squares. So in step 1, definitely that is 9. That's a 3 by, whoops. In step 1, there are 9 squares. So that's a 3 by 3 block of squares there. And then we've added 8. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So in step 2, there are 17. And then we've added 8 more. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So that's in step 3 is definitely 25. And then let's do step 4, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. So in step 4, 33, like we had predicted. Let's take the difference between each step, the difference in the number of squares. So 17 minus 9, that's 8. 25 minus 17, that's also 8. 33 minus 25, that's 8. And that should make sense, right? The difference between each step should be 8 because we're adding 8 in each step. And when the difference is a constant, it stays the same, this is always an 8, we know that this is a linear pattern. And we can use this equation for a line, y equals mx plus b, to model that. All we need to do is replace m, which is usually the slope in a line, with the rate of change in this pattern, how much it's increasing each step. So y will equal 8x, and the plus b will be some number that we use to adjust to make sure it works out with each step. Let's try it with step 1. If we said the number of squares, that's y, equals 8 times, and x is the step number, 8 times 1, well, we just get 8 here, but there are 9. So I think that plus b, that adjusting factor, needs to just be a plus 1. That would make this equal out to 9. So 8 times 1 plus 1, that's 9. Let's try this same formula now. We've got y equals 8x plus 1. Let's try that with step 2. Y equals 8 times step 2 plus 1. And that would be 8 times 2 is 16 plus 1 is 17. Yes, that's how many we've got there. We could try that with step 3. Y equals 8 times step 3 plus 1. 8 times 3 is 24 plus 1 gives us 25. I think we've got it. So our equation here is y equals 8x plus 1. Now that we can use to figure out how many in step 43. So we can just plug in 43 for the step number. So y equals 8 times 43 plus 1. So I need to do 8 times 43. Let me try that in my head. 8 times 40 would be 320, and 8 times 3 would be 24, and then we've got our plus 1. So that's 345 squares in step number 43. Well, how did that go for you? Did you see this pattern? Did you get the correct answer for how many in step number 4? Did you get step number 43? Let me know. Thanks, everybody.